Hey guys, this is Shane and welcome to my Curator of the Lost channel. Today, hey, let's talk about what happens or how you handle potential scammers. So I've had a couple of viewers that have asked about this, and I even had one just not too long ago, just in the last couple of weeks, where somebody's wanting me to do something outside the eBay ecosystem. And it's good especially if you're new to this sort of online selling stuff, especially on eBay, to just follow a couple of simple rules that will help you a lot. So we'll just review those for people that are new to selling. And if you're experienced and you've been around the block, as they say, if you've got some other pointers that you can offer advice to people, then feel free to comment. And I know it'll be greatly appreciated within our book selling community and really just the eBay online selling community. So this eBay scammers, and there's all kinds of flavors of this where, and I will say up front that my experience is that the overwhelming majority of people that have bought from me or that I get interactions with are fine. It's all good, and I don't have a huge percentage of that. Some people, you may have other opinions of that, or maybe you just get a bad run, but over all the years, over 20 years I've been selling on eBay, I really haven't had that big of an issue with it. But there are a couple of things that you can do to help yourself out. And the way the scamming usually works, there's a couple of different varieties of it. One is that they want to communicate outside of the eBay, messaging systems and start doing personal emails and asking you to send stuff to a different address. That's one of the biggest things. And even if it's within the eBay system, if it's a buyer that you don't have a history with, sending an item to a non-approved, non-qualified address, the address that's not on file, it opens yourself up to potential loss on that item. So basically, that's the big gist is, no matter how much the people want, no matter how much they really want you to help them out, do not communicate outside of the eBay ecosystem. Always use eBay messaging. Do not go to a personal email address or do something like that on your eBay sales. That's the number one thing to protect yourself. The number two thing is to ship only to that eBay approved what address they have on file. Do not change the address. And the way that you can go around that, if it's needed, is just tell the buyer, I don't do that to protect myself from fraud. I will cancel the item. I will relist the item so that you can purchase it again with and enter the correct address. And that's an easy way to fix it. It just takes maybe another day, but if somebody really wants the item, they should, and they're legit, they should understand. Don't expose yourself to this. Now, what can happen? Well, basically what happens is then if you send it to the other item and something happens, they can file and say that they never received the item. And since it's not shipped to the eBay approved address, then it's your loss. But if I've had experiences where people say they don't get it and it says delivered on the eBay system, you put in your tracking, and that's the number three thing. You have to make sure that the tracking is in the system. But if if you do that, don't communicate outside of the eBay channels. Only ship to the approved, an approved eBay address. It'll say it's verified, I guess is the correct word. And then always make sure your tracking information is uploaded, or especially if you're buying postage at the post office, make sure you come back and upload that information. Because then if it's marked as received, you are good. You're gold. eBay is, I've had this happen multiple times over the years, and eBay sides with me. If it has been a verified address and tracking says it was delivered. If somebody stole it off the doorstep, if they really are trying to scam you and say that they didn't get it, another thing that people will say is that, this is going to get kind of dicey, is people can take a photo and say, this is not what I bought. It's not you sent me something bogus. And at that point, I think sometimes, eBay has to, you just have to let eBay sort it out, and it may not land on your side. But the biggest things you can do are to do those simple steps. Communicate through the system, use a verified address, and make sure tracking is uploaded. Because, big things, eBay's generally, all these online sites, they're generally going to side with the buyer. But that's the way you protect yourself, is doing that. Some of these things are obviously scams. Somebody wants you to send a gift card, or they want to pay in a different way. It's weird. It just shouldn't be that hard or that weird. The biggest thing, that if you don't follow through with these extra requests, well, and they never pay, then also what you do is you just wait a few days, and you can check with eBay, and you can actually file to cancel the item because the buyer didn't pay, and then you can just relist it for free. So, the hassle factor is that somebody doesn't pay. It costs you time on really selling the item. You can't sell it while it's hung up for a few days, let's say a week or so, but ultimately it protects yourself. So that's it. That's the simple things you can do. You'll get people over time. They'll be asking you some really weird stuff, and most people are not like that, but you get the onesie twosie, that 1 or 2%, you start selling a few hundred items a month. You might get 1 or 2 of these a month. I don't think I actually get that many, but it's just protect yourself. Go through the eBay system. Don't communicate outside that. Ship to the verified address, and make sure that you upload tracking, and that's going to protect you against a lot of frauds. And obviously, don't mail before before payment, or something like that. So anyway, that's some quick tips for some people that have been asking. And hey, just remember, see cool, buy cool, and then protect yourself on this kind of stuff. And don't try to chase a sale and get yourself into a point where you're exposed. You lose the item. You have to refund the buyer and all that. So anyway, hope that helps. Talk to you soon. Bye.